It was a train-the-trainer session held at the Radisson Grenada Beach Resort. Jason Lyons, one of the facilitators, explained what the Business Continuity Program is about and why it is important for businesses to understand the potential threats they are likely to face and the importance of developing a business continuity plan.
So the idea of this program is to help businesses understand the threats they face and understand the need for developing a plan around combating those threats, so being resilient against those threats. Well, firstly, they need to look at what happens in their locale, right? What the hazards they face, and understanding those hazards will help them to identify what they need to do, the next steps they need to be resilient. Because one thing we hate is to be in downtime, whether it be a business or your home, anything like that. We want to be in downtime. We want to avoid being in downtime. So by understanding it, addressing it ahead of time, being prepared ahead of time, you can now reduce the time it takes for you to recover or get back to some normalcy. And that's what the idea behind this business continuity planning is about.
Lyons highlighted what the plan should entail, emphasizing that it should be shared with internal and external stakeholders.
Yeah, that plan should encompass a few things. Firstly, it should encompass the threats, as I mentioned. Look at the threats and prioritize those threats. So they look at whether it be a natural or human-induced, whatever threat it is, and capture them. Then they should prioritize those. Look at the ones that are most likely, the most probable ones, and look at the ones that are high impact. Right. So high impact, high frequency. That's the ones they should prioritize first. We want them to also look at all of the others that are not so high impact, high intensity, high frequency, and think, which ones do I prioritize in these first five or whatever it is. And then once they've identified those, are addressing those, what do we need to do to make sure that our business is resilient? What do we need to do to make sure that should one of those impacts or those hazards impact us, we have a system in place, we have resources, people, partners we could rely on in place so that we can continue operating or get back to operating as soon as possible.
The facilitator explained further how business continuity plans are executed.
And you hit on the right thing, because one of the things, you can have a plan all day, you can build a plan and so on, but if you don't practice that plan, it's garbage, right? And so we also, in this workshop, this training, showed them the different types of ways they could practice their plan, by doing tabletop exercises or drills or functional exercises or full-scale exercises. So we went through all of that with them, understanding, hey, these are tools you can use, tools you have in your toolbox to practice the things that you put into your plan with your internal people as well as your partners, ensuring that everybody knows what's contained and everybody knows how to execute the plan should that time come.
Ruth Jacob Roberts, NADMA's representative at the workshop, underscored the importance of planning ahead.
So we really love is that we have some businesses that are sole proprietors, and that was key, because the mindset is that when we talk about business continuity, we're only talking about large-scale entities. But we've learned from many of the incidents that have passed that some of the smaller entities are most significantly affected because they do not have sometimes the resources to get themselves back up and running. But this exercise have taught us that once we put certain plans in place, we know exactly what we will need to get a business back up and running. We can plan beforehand, and I think that's a good thing.
The workshop brought together representatives from the private sector, non-governmental organizations, among others. Christina John, GBN News.